wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, this the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to WB. And all the things that will feel happen and I got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count up. Wasted people, do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, WB. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, this the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen and I got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, WB.
All right, welcome. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize, Morning Vibes. It's a Thursday morning, the 12th day of February. Already the middle of February. We're moving very fast. In about 9 days, we're going to come up with Ramadan, which is the month of fasting. So we're moving, and we thank God.
5 inland and 76 over the mountains. Tonight, the skies will be partly cloudy with low temperatures of 72 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 67 inland and 59 over the mountains. A few showers will continue to develop mainly along the coast during the morning and afternoon hours. Thereafter, showers will become isolated. The winds will blow from the east to northeast at 5 to 15 knots and the sea state will be light sharp. A high tide will occur at 3 minutes past 8 this morning, followed by a low at 11:49 a.m. Another high will occur at 6:18 this evening and a low at 2:25 tomorrow morning. The sun will rise at 6:20 this morning and set at 5:53. The moon set at 1:41 this afternoon and comes up at 3:29 a.m. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for fair and mostly dry conditions to prevail. In the sargassum forecast, latest satellite imagery shows limited sargassum near the coast of Belize. However, a few mats were spotted over the Gulf of Honduras, and these mats are forecast to approach southern Belize during the next few days. And that's your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
And worsening shortage of food and medicine due to U.S. cutting off its access to oil and intensifying sanctions and economic pressure. Thus far, Cuba has been forced to ration fuel, shortening school days, reduce public transport, and even suspend jet fuel services for airlines. The renewed strain has raised questions across the region of how shifting U.S. policy might affect Caribbean nationals living and studying on the island. Yesterday, Belize's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Education, the Honorable Francis Fonseca, confirmed that currently 28 Belizean students are enrolled in Cuban universities. He further noted that, of those, some 20 are in their final year. He stated, quote, "We are supporting them in every way that we can and will continue to dialogue with them to ensure that they are safe and healthy and able to continue their education programs in Cuba," end of quote. According to Fonseca, thus far, there has been no unusual disruption of their studies, and the government of Belize remains hopeful that these students will be able to successfully complete their programs. For decades, Cuba has opened its doors to CARICOM nations, offering scholarships and training in medicine, engineering, and other critical fields. Belize has long benefited from that cooperation, sending successive cohorts of students to study on the island. We asked Prime Minister John Briceño if he believes things will get so bad that students will have to be returned to Belize.
My heart, cries out for the people of Cuba, and I condemn it to the people of Cuba. And I think there's no justification for what is being done to them. I could see you can have differences between governments, but when you take actions to be able to hurt people, I think that's something that we should all be very, very concerned. Any human being in the world, I hope that something that we worked on, that be able, for instance, they've been shut off from getting oil in the country, and at that rate, probably sooner or later, we may have to consider whether the students are to come home or not. We have to ensure that they're safe and that their schools are operating and that they have access to food and the other necessities that they need.
How are we handling right now? Are they in want of anything thus far? I know the minister said that they're in consult with the embassy and the students.
Well, the embassy is always in contact with them, and every year I know there's some families try to raise funds to send a container load of goods for them. I always help, of course, and many other citizens. But our embassy is in constant communications with the kids and our students, your young men and women. And many times they go there for the weekend, or if there's an activity, they go to the embassy. It is we feel that it is our responsibility to ensure that they're safe and that they can get the necessary food that they need and other things to be able to live comfortably in Cuba.
We also asked the Prime Minister for an update on the Cuban Medical Brigade in Belize and whether or not we expect to have them continue in the country.
I am not sure, but as we pointed out to the U.S. government, we pay their doctors directly, so that was not an issue. You know that we still need doctors, but I don't know if that program will still be running with the Cuban government. But as long as we can get the help, I mean, our people need service and access to doctors, and we have to do what we have to do to be able to look after our citizens.
Seeing the intense pressure that's being brought down on Cuba, any possibility that Belize or even CARICOM will come together to send any food assistance?
Well, we are going to have a heads meeting around the 24th, 25th, somewhere around there for February, and that's on the agenda. And I think that anything that we can do, any relief that we can give to the people of Cuba, I think we should do. I think we have a moral responsibility to be able to help.
What did the Commissioner of Police have to say about the observation that the Belize Police Department, in its discretion, is acting in a manner that erodes the rights of citizens to freedom of association, which is guaranteed by the Constitution? Three groups, the Umbrella Organization for Unions, the NTUCB, the Opposition UDP, and the New Belize Communications Workers for Justice have condemned the decision of the police, which have impacted their protest actions. At the last House meeting, we put their concerns to the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Anthony Rosado, who did not admit that the department acted deliberately to hinder the demonstrators.
The NTUCB has called out the police department for not approving a permit to protest because the UDP was protesting at the same location. And then the BCWJ, they are saying that you all retracted, in a sense, 2 days that they were going to be allowed to protest, and they're saying this is anti-democratic. Like, it's not for them to worry whether the police has sufficient police to put on the ground. It's their right.
They did reach out to me, the former employees of the BTL. They did reach out to me, and I contacted the commander, and there was an error within the bond that was issued, and they were subsequently granted permission to protest.
The error was on the part of the police, or who?
On the part of the police, and hence the reason the amendment was made, and they were granted permission to do the protest.
Sir, but it's really becoming questionable because you keep making these errors and these technicalities to serve your purpose. Like with Yellow Man under the charge of to be one member of a gang, at least that's what the farm said. But it's to work in your favor and against.
And was detained for inciting violence, and the investigation is ongoing at the moment.
The Prime Minister yesterday considered it a matter, he said, far removed from, but said that the government believes in the right to protest.
They're complaining that the police department is, in its discretion, basically eroding rights to protest.
I don't know what they're talking about. As far as I know, whenever they ask for to protest, we've always approved their protests. I don't know which protest would ever.
Lately, a lot of their permits have been rejected.
That's not true. I know from what I know about, whenever they ask me, hey, that's your right. But as long as then that you are within the law. When you saw the last time when the UDP was out there in that BTL and Social Security trying to disrupt and trying to break up the place, so that should never be allowed. But if you want to protest peacefully, it is your constitutional right as a Belizean.
They didn't allow them in one case, the union, because the UDP had already gotten a permit for the same location, and for that reason they denied it. Then in the case of Yellow Man not charged, but they noted on the suspect acknowledgement form being the member of a gang, which that's a tactic the police was using so that he would not be out there. And then in relation to the farmer employees, they removed 2 days of protest from them based on an error for the police department on the bond. To me, that seems all like tactics.
Indicated that the company is still reviewing the case of some 175 former employees who are still demanding severance payment. It informed that it would communicate its final decision in short order. In a public statement, BTL noted that the matter would be discussed at its next board meeting. Yesterday, the Prime Minister said that they should get their money.
When it comes to the former BTL employees, as I said Friday, and I will repeat again, we discussed it in Cabinet, that we do believe that they will be paid, and I'm told now that that BTL will pay them the severance that was owed back then.
They're still using the 6-year limitation.
No, I think, listen, well, when it comes to workers' rights, we have a very, very strong record and history. Our party started off from the labor union, and we believe strongly, and we will push BTL to ensure that these people be paid. Now, I can't promise you I could give them one check immediately, but obviously because it's millions of dollars, maybe they have to work out a payment scheme, but we're going to make sure that they get paid.
Another unsuspecting individual, this time a minor, became the victim of an attack by a man reportedly living with mental health condition. The incident occurred at a store near the Belmopan bus terminal and has sparked concerns. Surveillance footage showed the minor, who observers say was no older than 10 or 11 years old, walking out a walking out of an aisle when a man who is standing near a showcase suddenly swings his fist and makes contact with the minor, who falls to the ground due to the force of the impact. Reports are that the child's mother was not far away when the incident occurred. Many have been left questioning which authority must address such issues. And that's our news package for this morning, the 12th day of February 2026. There's an update at 12 and another one at 3 and a full news broadcast at 5:15. All this on Creme Radio. Here on XTV, we bring you the entire news broadcast at 6 o'clock this evening. It's now 10 minutes to 7 o'clock. We'll take a short break, come back. Our phone lines are open for the entire show today, so it's your turn.
Informative, accurate, current information. Krem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English.
100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part, 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part, it's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secure
Informative, accurate, current information. Krem's newscast. Local, regional, and
Sandra Coy.
Welcome, sister.
This Cuban situation.
Yeah, man, it's on my mind. It's really on my mind.
Pardon?
I'm just saying it is it's weighing on my mind this morning, the Cuban situation.
Yes, I have called twice on the matter, last week with you and yesterday with Mose. And this morning, I accidentally came across, well, I don't know if I heard all the coverage on your radio station. I don't know if it was covered on Love because I forgot to turn on the radio then. Now, what I heard on your radio station, Nuri, I'm not trying to rope you into a situation, but did you hear conviction in the voices of the persons who spoke on behalf of the government? I didn't hear conviction. Did you hear conviction?
Honestly, I didn't hear the clip. I just read the news of what Mr. Fonseca said and what the Prime Minister said. But I'd like to hear your impression.
So you're saying you heard or you didn't hear conviction?
No, I read it. I wouldn't want to comment on conviction, and I didn't read into it anything.
I heard hesitancy. I didn't hear conviction.
Okay.
I heard all understandable. What we are told, the first authority figure was the Minister of Education. They quoted him. That's not saying anything different than has always been said. And this is a unique situation now. I don't know if the Belizeans want to or can or will grasp that. Why do I say that? Because laying siege to a city, to a country, to a people is not a new undertaking. It's old, ancient. You surrounded the city because the cities in those days were generally walled population centers. Everywhere. It didn't matter if it was in Europe, it was the Middle Eastern cities, the Far Eastern cities. The urban centers of the New World were somewhat different. And the purpose of laying siege was to bring the population into submission to whoever was laying siege. They wanted that population to capitulate, to yield, to give in. And humans have always figured out that one of the ways of getting people to capitulate is to make them thirsty, to make them hungry. That's the basic, which will then lead to desperation, which can then lead to contention, strife, quarreling, whatever word you want, within that population that is being laid siege to. So they turn on each other in a civil war type of situation. That is what happened in Jerusalem when the Romans laid siege to Jerusalem. What we would now call extremists, the zealots, had said to the Roman ruling class, which was a theocratic class, a priestly class, do not mount the statues in the temple. We do not allow images of anything in the temple, least of all of gods to whom we owe no allegiance, has nothing to do with. But they didn't listen. And as a consequence, the zealots would then, while they are being laid siege to, enter into armed conflict, and they destroyed the bags of grain. They could have been under that siege for a long time and survived because they had huge stores of harvested grain in addition to other food. But the bags of grain were split by the zealots in their struggle to take power, to take control. And the bags of grain, well, they just opened and scattered and there was no food. So on top of the slaughter from armed conflict, people died literally from starvation. When the Romans finally entered Jerusalem, it was, utter destruction and disaster. We know what it is because the consequences of that siege, we still reap that today in Gaza. That is why there was Israeli Gaza the way they are. That is why. That siege that killed virtually every Samaritan male was murdered. Every Samaritan male. They went to the aid of their Judean brothers and they were killed. The amount required for human survival, and now it is at zero. Isn't that so, Nuri?
That's what we're observing, Ms. Koi. That's what we're seeing.
So we can now calculate to the last drop almost the amount of water we will need and the time then that it will take for you to die or collapse so we can move in if we are laying siege to you. We now know to calculate nutrition, exactly how much protein you need on a daily basis and the amount we can cut down that amount to zero when your body mass, you won't be able to repair body tissue. We now know it to a science. So don't you think the United States that has led in scientific inquiry has that all calculated out for the Cubans?
I think so.
They have it calculated out for the Gaza, for the Palestinians.
For all the enemies.
Being laid siege to gram by gram of protein, drop by drop of water, and let's take water in the Palestinian camp in Gaza and the West Bank. They have destroyed what did they cut off as a primary cutoff to Gaza? The fuel. No fuel. So they didn't have fuel to desalinate the water because remember, some of the water, or maybe a great part of the water, that the Gazans drink is seawater from which the salt is extracted. Right. They need energy to run that. No energy, so they can't drink the water. When they drink that salt water, their insides are destroyed.
Right.
So you need energy to cook. You can't run that blender without electricity. How is the electricity produced?
Fuel.
This is a calculated, methodical, systematic destruction of an entire population. And we are being told, asked to participate. That's what we are expected to do. We are expected to do exactly what has happened with Gaza and the West Bank, where the whole world stands and watches in horror while the people are dismembered. Inch of body fat, inch of body protein, whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's what is happening. So, Nuri, this is not, my call is not to make mischief for the People's United Party government, or the United Democratic Party government, or the UBAL participation government, or the people, I don't know the party doctor. I don't have no political investment in this. None. I am not interested in communism. I personally don't want to live under a communist government. I've never wanted.
But you know, Ms. Koi, I don't believe...
If people choose a communist government, then so be it.
Yeah.
I simply don't want it. So I am not here promoting communism. I am not promoting capitalism. For me, Cardinal Turbin's position in Thomas Aquinas' position is simple. We are made in the image of God. All of us, man. We all therefore have a claim to human dignity. We did not make the birds. We just can't grow baby in a test tube. We have not got the capacity to even invent the bird. That's not our territory. So the things that we have not made, we have no right to eradicate and exterminate. And you're now exterminating a whole population because they are doing the same to the Haiti, you know.
Yeah.
They are doing the same to Haiti in order to convert Haiti into a controllable Latin-dominated society. That's what they're doing. They want the island now to become una sola Hispaniola. That's what they're doing. And we better get real and realistic about the times we're living in and the demands that are being made of us. I am not trying to spread calamity mentality. No, that's what we're living in. Look at what happened yesterday. I think it's overnight yesterday in Texas, El Paso, Texas. Well, suddenly a calamity occurred with the airspace over El Paso. Because I don't know if the federal government seems to be undertaking some experiment with the airspace over El Paso, Texas, putting in danger everything that flies, that's called a plane, helicopter, whatever. Brought to a grinding halt the entire aviation undertaking in El Paso, including medical air transport. Nobody
could move.
Sense? Absolutely no sense.
Yeah. And then when they asked the federal government to explain it, they wouldn't explain. They just said they're not sure. People were not sure exactly what was the reason for this. That's strange.
So something is wrong with the remainder of the population of the world if we can't see that the people who are asking us to participate in the death, destruction, eradication of an entire population, that is the Cuban population, if something isn't wrong with the people asking us to do such a participation. We are just going to participate like that?
You know, Sandra, there is and I'm sure you know about it, there is not a proverb, but a saying from China that when you want to frighten a $125 million US to help us in this education. So all of those matters there is what forces countries like us into silence, basically.
Political party that wanted that money and urgently needs it is evidently afraid of that. And then its opponent is happy that a sane person would have known that that money would never come under the pretense we thought it was.
But I think it's beyond the money, Sister Sandra. I think it is just this general concern that why better we don't mess with America, you know, and therefore we will sit back and we only make tame remarks in regards to what we see going on in Cuba, because we know what's going on in Cuba. I mean, they are, in fact, going through exactly what you've just said that happened in Jerusalem. They're going to starve those people until a rebellion comes up in Cuba, and hopefully there'll be a regime change. I think that may be their strategy, you know?
So, Nuri, you are saying that our Belizean people, to a man, every one of them, truly understand what is happening in Cuba and have no problem with it there.
I wouldn't say they have no problem. I just think it's a general fear. I think it's being pragmatic and saying that, look, you know, we got so many irons in the fire. America is this overarching power. Why mess with this? We kind of like want to send messages privately to our friends in Cuba and say, boy, hope you understand. I can't say nothing more than where they say right now. And maybe on a level of diplomacy, that's acceptable in the world, because we do have to look out for our own best interest.
Poland, everybody in Western Europe knew they had a war on their hands. They couldn't face it before. They couldn't face it, and you never ever solve a problem by not facing it head on. I don't know any problem that's solved by running away from the problem. I don't know any. And we have a problem here. So, yes, your explanation for the cowardly, because it's cowardly behavior, isn't it? It doesn't matter what the reason for the cowardly behavior. Cowardly behavior is cowardly behavior.
Yeah, but Sandra, I'm not sure. I'm not I'm not sure.
If you are practicing that behavior.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to call it coward. I just think there's a level of pragmatism that is out there. And when you see other nations doing it, I guess you could say, well, I know I call myself coward because see, all of they do the same thing. Because I'm not seeing any one of the Caribbean countries that have benefited from Cuba standing up at this point.
So that is why we can't correct it, because we don't want to confront what we truly are.
Yeah.
So this is what we are doing.
All right.
No, I am not promoting, as I keep repeating, please don't assume I am promoting control.
Yeah.
And if you can get the people killed on a land, then it's easier to take the land. Much easier.
Yeah. But you know, Sister Sandra, amazingly, yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to mention to you that the amount of people in Belize, and it surprises me sometimes, who still got a very bad taste in their mouth when you mention Cuba. I mean, I have even seen people who are activists that you would assume understand what's going on in the whole hemispheric issue when it comes to Cuba. They still are of the opinion that Cuba is a negative state that should not be given any support. You tell them, but can you see how that state has assisted Belize over the last 20, 30 years? Can you see that? And it has made no difference to them that our communist state, and the quicker we get rid of that, the better it is. There are a lot of Belizeans that think like that.
I'm perfectly aware of Belizeans' prejudice. We are prejudiced about a whole lot of things. Starting with race, with skin color. Let's start there. But this is not that issue here. The issue at stake is the survival of an entire population. There is nothing to explain and justify, Nuri. We've been down, humans have been down this war path before.
Yes, we have. As a matter of fact, we have looked at what's going on in...
I don't expect to convince you or Belizeans. Nobody. I am laying my position out front. Because the day I meet my God, that is the day I want to know that I have done as much as I am able to promote a world, not a society, not a religion, a world based on justice, right action, and always at the center consideration of the human worth and dignity of the human person. That is my sole contention. We will not make it through. We have Guatemala right over there. That country they were happy to claim Cuban support during the struggle for independence. Happy to laud it. We were told how wonderful they were. The Panamanian president and all of the socialist, communist societies that were supporting us. We were happy to claim them. And I would think that pragmatism could lead our leadership and our people to see that at this moment in history, the society that is calling for or orchestrating the destruction of Cuba is itself coming apart. That society is coming apart. So do we want to be recorded in history as having followed willy-nilly, harum-scarum, blindly a society that is coming apart because they are whiter than us and we honor their whiteness? They are more blue-eyed than us and we honor blue-eyed. They are more this and more that, whatever it is. And so we are a black. Because at the end of the day, Nuri, we have to examine why it is we are truly willing to follow those people if evidently they are doing wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, but been doing a long history of doing wrong, and we still no one look upon our history,
Anyway, goodbye.
Thank you very much, sister. Our number here is 2805848, and before I make a mistake, let me give greetings to Miss Kuna, who is listening to us in California and called us this morning, and we hope that you will enjoy your day, sister. Our number here is 2805848. What Sister Sandra is bringing to us is an important part of our agenda that we can't afford to take our eyes off, because the relationship between ourselves and Cuba was not a communist relationship. They were accusations, and I suggest that you read the book of Harold Young, who interviewed Assad Shuman and Said Musa, who were both accused of being communist agents working on behalf of Cuba. And that was the boogeyman that was used to castigate and malign. Now, I mean, Assad has made it very clear, I believe he lives between Cuba and Belize, that he don't call himself one particular name, but anybody who reads his history and observes how he has behaved politically and otherwise can clearly see his favor to what is going on in Cuba. Not necessarily the government of Cuba, but the stance of Cuba is far more than what's going on inside of Cuba itself. My good brother called last week, and he wanted to point out the levels of discrimination, racism that has gone on, and to a certain extent still goes on in Cuba. And that was his point, to try to drive it home. I was trying to show him that there's a bigger picture than just that particular concern. Yeah, welcome, caller.
Hey, Brother Nuri, salam alaikum.
Oh, brother, wa alaikum salam. So you hear your name, you must hear your name just now, not true?
Well, I'm so happy I'm able to get in, because I called last week in relation to the same topic.
Well, you did get in. We did chat a little bit, and you look like your temperature gone up a little bit. But I'm glad that you called back. You got more time now. Go ahead.
Yes, what I was saying about Cuba, Brother Nuri. And again, I want to emphasize, because Sister Sandra, when she called last week, she made mention that her name was called. And I want to emphasize again that me personally have maximum respect for Sister Sandra. We believe that she is one of our enlightened ones to guide us on the right path here in Belize. I was only mentioning that the time frame that you had given to Sister Sandra was a little bit long.
It wasn't about Sandra at all. It was a criticism of me and my handling of the time. That's the way you say it. You say, oh, boy, you give Sandra so much time and you look for cut me off. That is. So it wasn't Sandra, that me.
Anyway.
That's all right. My skin is thick enough to handle it, my brother. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay. Now, in relation to Cuba, Brother Nuri.
Yes, sir.
All of us as black people in the Western Hemisphere have experienced 500 years of harsh slavery. All of our riches and treasures, our diamonds and gold and knowledge was stolen and taken away from us by brute force by the European people. And we really want to get it back. But I'm saying in the situation in Cuba, black people in Cuba gone through slavery. And to go through communism after 500 years of slavery, it is a new burden on our brothers and sisters in Cuba, from slavery to communism. Yes, Fidel Castro, Che Guevara, and others have done great for the world, Africa in particular, because during the situation in South Africa, in Namibia, in Angola, we had Cuban internationalist combatants fighting alongside our brothers and sisters in Africa.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Kind of a biblical.
Yes, Brother Nuri. What is it?
This is a kind of a Quranic or biblical question. Can good come out of bad?
Can good come out of bad?
If Cuba, let me ask it in a more common sense, down on the street level. If you say that Cuba that one bad situation, and left out communism, that one bad situation they go on across there, How could out of that bad situation where they come across there, send out good people for educate you, for be doctor, for be soldiers, for die on land that is a thousands and thousands of miles? Can good come out of bad? That's the question I ask you.
Well, let me answer it in my term.
Okay.
The goodness that Cuba have been based on the revolutionary concept that those brothers over there have. But by doing such, a part of the society have been down-pressed at the same time. So equating both parallels, I have to say it's between the devil and a deep blue sea. My vision, what I'm seeing of Cuba is, yes, they have done a lot of goodness, and that fact cannot be negated. But on top of that, you have a people that have already experienced 500 years of trauma. So they are being Muslim movement. We know our brother was liquidated, Malcolm X. We know about Huey P. Newton, Elridge Cleaver. All of these brothers was oppressed by the FBI and the CIA. So what we do now, we take another route to ease the tension of other new leaders that would come up so the revolution could continue with the same objective, but not having that major burden on our people. So what is happening now in Cuba is by maintaining that hardline stand, and we know that the greater benefactor have been the Soviet Union, that help is no longer forthcoming. Venezuela's help is no longer forthcoming. Mexico, because of pressure, help is no longer forthcoming. So, brothers in Cuba, take another stand, man. Ease the pressure to a certain extent financially. So let us find a balance.
All right.
Let us find a balance. That's all I'm saying. Respect to what Cuba have done, but the brothers need to really, stand down now and say, make me free up this type of system. So the whole citizenry of Cuba
all right, my brother. I think
could live a little bit better. Thanks, Brother Nuri.
All right, then, sir. Yeah, we really need to get our children into the habit of debate. And how to structure your debate so that you could come to a conclusion that is logical. It's not just a matter of talk. It's a matter of connecting the dots. We are not trying to justify any regime in the world. Every people have to take care of their own situation. We could look at Burkina Faso and start saying, we're wrong with Touré, we're wrong with him. How come he put people under any kind of pressure there? We could have any kind of criticism, but then on the other side, people are looking and say, man, finally you got a leader in Africa where they try to stand up to the colonialists, trying to do this and trying to do that. So we are going to have the pros and the cons depending on people's opinion of what they see going on within a country. You probably, you could make the same analogy that I was saying just now about can good come out of bad to the United States. Get a job and be able to help our people back here, that's not bad. That was good. But out of that, a dilemma there, we can come up with a narrative of New America, bad, 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 and for everything about it is bad. And that is not reasonable. It's just not reasonable. So I recognize the problems of Cuba. I was blessed to get a chance to go to Cuba and see for myself. So there are things in Cuba that we can criticize. But we got to be able to not throw the baby out with the bathwater, man. There are things that are good, there are things that are positive, and we are able to recognize that at the same time, that we're criticizing those things that we don't appreciate. All right, we'll take the break now for 2 Cents Scam with Brick, and that is sponsored by Fort Point Security. Please call back.
What's up, guys? You're watching WUB, and I'm your host for Tuesday. Come, yes, Brick City. And guess what? Everybody want to know how special the Valentine's. Me want to know, you want to know. Let's go find out the people in Tuesday's planet. Tuesday, come, my friend. How serious and special you take care of Valentine's?
That normal day to me. I don't take it that serious. But if I don't get a present, I still feel hurt.
What are you two saying on Valentine's, friend? How serious you take it?
Well,
how special is special to you?
Well, it's special for me every day, you know, because Valentine, every day your partner love you.
Yeah.
Valentine, no got no special day. Love you every day.
Yeah.
Right? Especially to the one you love. But it's very costly. Right? But I mean, as a man will love a lady, you shouldn't mind how much it costs. Treat your lady right. Right?
That your 2 cents?
My 2 cents.
What are your 2 cents on the Valentine's? So serious or how special is Valentine's to you?
Well, I take the Valentine's serious because this is the month for love. This is the month for spouse appreciation month. Yeah, that's how serious I take it. Yeah.
Yeah, your 2 cents. How special or how serious you take the Valentine?
Well, I take this day special in the sense that everybody look at it as a day of love for the year, right? Well, personally, I don't really celebrate it, but I always try to do at least something nice to my wife, making her feel left out, right?
That your 2 cents.
Valentine's to me is a very special day for me and my lady because it's a very special day. I want to look on it. It's time well spent with your family. If you love your family, you'll take your Valentine's Day very seriously.
That your 2 cents.
That's my 2 cents.
I see it as another passing day. But for those who are into Valentine, I think they should go ahead and celebrate it.
That your 2 cents?
Yes.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet and Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank.
building the future together.
Final showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Tired of appliances that just don't last? Appliances that just can't keep up? It's time for a change. GE Appliances delivers reliability, innovation, and performance you can trust. The decision is easy. Don't settle for less. Choose quality, choose reliability, choose GE.
It is truly a proud day for us here in the village as we inaugurate this rehabilitated Bully Tree Falls Community Center, a building that has long stood at the heart of our community. For generations, this center has been more than just a structure of concrete and steel. It has been a place where memories were made and lives were celebrated. It has hosted countless community gatherings, quinceaños celebrations, weddings, birthday parties, family reunions, meetings, and events that brought us together as one people.
I'm often criticized for projects like this, going to say, why is tourism investing in a community center? And I often say I'm not investing in a community center, I'm investing in the community, I'm investing in our people.
May this center continue to stand strong as a symbol of community, resilience, and togetherness for many years to come.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
mentally ill persons for the first time. And the incident that took place about 3 weeks ago, where this person attacked 2 or 3 different persons in Belize City. And then now we saw what took place in Belmopan, a different person, but the same kind of violence, unexpected violence. And I am not going to attempt in any kind of way to talk like I know exactly what's going on in a person's head when they are not well. But it's a difficult situation for us here. Do we pick up all of these people who are expressing any form of mental illness and lock them down, get them out of our society so that we don't have to see them, we don't have to deal with them? Is that one of the solutions? To find some place up the road and, you know, get them out of our sight so we act as though they don't exist? Do we look at our medication regime? Are we giving these people the right meds? Is this a situation where some people are not taking their medication even though it's being dispensed to them? Is it within the formula of the medication that when they take it, these impulses that we saw expressed within 2 violent incidents there is really something that the medication helped to calm that impulse from behaving like that? It's just a conversation that we need to have, because it's the second time it's happening in the media like this. But it's not the first time that we've seen people who, I mean, we even remember, some of you may be too young, where this young man actually killed him up. Actually killed his mother, and he was known to be a person that had issues. And so I'm saying that we need to have a long conversation and a consistent conversation regarding what do we do with our mentally ill persons. Now this has to come out of the ministry responsible for that, which I believe is health. And they need to be able to explain to us when an incident like this happens and everybody is alarmed. They need to say it again. What are you doing about this? Don't say, well, we don't tell you last time what we do. We don't have to come back and tell you that. Yes, you do need to come back over and over and let us know why. Because that could be any one of our children there that happened to that young boy. Any one of our children could have been a victim to something like that. The man appears to be looking in the showcase or the show window or something like that, and then turn around and just punch. Suppose it was a knife. So it is an alarming situation, and I'm not just trying to stir it up for a conversation, but I'm saying that it is an alarming situation where we are now seeing individuals having a violent streak. Those individuals go walking the streets all the time. We see them all the time. We see people who are not necessarily homeless, but have mental issues. There are 1 or 2 of them in Belize City that you know very well. But they don't appear to you recently. And I just want to tell you, I don't know if you're bringing it up again, but you brought it up last week. And I hear you reiterating it on more than one occasion with other talk shows, that in fact, if we are going to get that thing back for $1, then why would you pay what would you pay for it now? So I am hearing you, you're out there expressing your opinion. Anyway, what's on your mind this morning?
Well, this mental health issue. How long has I been calling to action, Nuri?
Why?
About mental health issue.
Long time, brother. Long time.
I see, whenever I speak about something, it come to pass, you know.
Oh,
because
wow.
I see the problem what happened.
Okay.
I see this problem in the corner, and I've been calling, and many times when I look for people with mental health problem right now, they're not people with ageable people. They're very, very young people.
Yeah.
And it's all over the country.
Yeah.
Whether it's by drugs, some people say that because the drugs whether they take, or whether the mental breakdown due to relationship, peer pressure, maybe they don't have the money and want to live certain lifestyle, all kind of things contribute to mental issue. You got people in office who is suffering from mental breakdown. You know?
Yeah.
Well, we see people every day get up, they clean up, go to work, but they got mental issue, they got problem. So this is not unique to the people on the street who say half naked or so.
Thank you, brother.
This is a serious issue.
Yes.
And you see they come to a point now, Brother Nuri, where people get hurt.
Yeah.
And I have been saying this before this happened, make we do something about it.
But what can we do? I'm throwing it back to you. What do you think?
We need an institution. The first thing, we can't just say people crazy. We can't just say people crazy and lock them down like what you say. Evaluation is needed. We need a set of people who could evaluate these people when they get into an institution. Because you can't just give people any kind of medication because you don't know that we're really going in at their head. You see? So the Ministry of Health have to lead this situation, have to be at the forefront. We have to spend money, Nuri. And this, don't worry about BTL and smarter. They're not rubbish to what they happen right now.
Yes, sir.
This is a serious situation with our young people. These are a lot of them are young people. I have mentioned about a young lady walking around like with a carnival costume for years. And still they're out there.
Yeah. And there's one walking out there. I mean, I see one the other day, like half naked, my brother. I mean, you know, even for she relatives, they should have come out and make sure she not to walk around as naked as she walk around, man.
Yeah, I see that pass this young lady and people make all kind of silly comments. Oh, watch it, he still got a carnival costume and carnival got a long time. Yeah. They name the worry about this lady in mental state. Take it for joke.
Yeah.
You know, so it's sad. We have to.
Yeah.
We got to. We have to spend the money.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Situation with Cuba. You heard talk about Cuba.
Yeah.
We don't have no relationship with Cuba. None right now. No relationship at all with Cuba right now. Right now, we think about $125 million. So Cuba, to hell with you. You want to take your lick? Yes, we get for you, but we can't deal with you right now. And this is how we operate as a country. We don't worry about what happened for years. We don't worry about what happened now. We turn our back on the people who help us. When the people that need help, we turn our back on them. Serious. When we listen to the Prime Minister and the comments when they ask about Cuba, how, well, we have to try to get the students out there. Things get worse. That's all in the pan. So what happened to the people who help we people? Well, you can't say, well, my 5 container of food we are sent out there. Because we know what will happen.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you, because you make one very important statement there, and just a couple of days I may ask myself, is it realistic for a group of citizens, and I only throw it out there, I know they say that, oh, I want to lead this march, I just think, and you prompt me just now when you say what you said. Is it realistic for us to say that we recognize that our brothers and sisters in Cuba are really going through hard times? Maybe we need to hear from our Belizeans there, students who are studying or whatever, but is it realistic? Just as we raise Red Cross things to help people who are struck by natural disasters like we did for Melissa there in Jamaica a few months ago, and as we have done in other circumstances, do you think, and it wouldn't be a government thing now, because the government obviously is intimidated, but can a citizen's drive, an NGO drive, begin to accumulate some food and other necessities, a container as you called it just now, and find a way to get it to our brothers and sisters in Cuba? Maybe we have to wait until the images of total starvation begin to affect us so that we feel the impetus to try to do something as humanitarian as that. And maybe we're not seeing that now. We're just the hear news report, and really we're not hear from we students there saying, listen, and what do you think about that idea?
Very good input. That is realistic, Nuri.
Yeah.
All of us have to come together. All of us benefit from Cuba. But the government have to be the leading head to lead this initiative. Because they got the know-how. We don't know about where the container and all the shipping and things detail.
Yeah.
But that's a very good initiative.
Yeah.
Make we strike that up. The government could ask for donation and things.
Yeah.
That's a very, but we can't let them people like that, man.
Should,
people
man.
never like
Your conscience.
Doctors, nurses.
Yeah.
But then people say, yeah, what so much people got at Cuba, you know?
Yeah.
And deal with their health issue and things.
To me, Carla, it's
where we could do for help them, we have to do something.
It's not a political question as much as it is a moral question, man.
Moral.
You know, what did the Samaritans do when he passed and saw the man weakened in the road? He stopped and he helped him. You understand me? And I look at Cuba's behavior over the last 30-odd years, 40 years, as poor as they, you see, because this boycott and this pressure that is being brought on Cuba did not start recently. It goes back several administrations of the United States, going all the way back to 1961. So they're not just today. And they came out of their dysfunctional situation after their revolution, got themselves back in order, started to produce, not produce, but graduate some of the best medical students, even though they were coming from a broken leg situation that the United States put them in because of this concept of the Monroe Doctrine that you can't do what you want in a wee backyard, and we want pressure you until you capitulate. And this is what they have been doing to these people. But despite that pressure that Cuba has been under, they have still tried to reach out to former colonial states because they recognize that they too were former colonial states and needed to help us. Because when we came out of colonialism, all we come out with peg leg to assist you. Not only that, I want to invite you over a period of more than 20 years to send your students pretty much free of cost. I know we pay one little pittance for their lease, such and so, but we don't pay for their knowledge. And the Cubans have given that abundantly over the last 30 years to us in the Caribbean. Now you mean to tell me that when your neighbor's house is now on fire, you too busy in your house to even look across there and say, but I'm not sure I could even send one bucket of water for you? No, man. This is not a political issue. This is a moral issue. You cannot get and not give. And I'm not saying that Francis should get up there and, hey, look here, America, what do you do to them people? I don't say that Johnny should get up there and curse America. No, that's not smart. But shouldn't we find some kind of way that commensurate with what we have gotten from those people, man? Don't.
Exquisite wines, gourmet cheeses, live performances, cultural entertainment, handmade craft, plus a bouncy house for the kids, cocktails at the Oasis Bar, and entrance is completely free. hosted by William Neal and Dwayne Moody, 5:30 to 10 p.m. This is the event you don't want to miss. Sponsored by Culture is My Business, a project of the National Institute of Culture and History NIT with support from Matisco and the Belize City Council. Mark your calendars, February 12th, Wine and Cheese under the stars at the House of Culture in Belize City. See you there.
Clean and maintain your yard the best way with Honda trimmers and lawn mowers. Honda Lawn and Garden Equipment. Available at Benquip. Equipment, parts, service.
Sea una persona ocupada o atrapado en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día para 10 días y va a estar bien después, ¿sabes?
Ok. Teléfono 22 32 87 6.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology, it's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures, customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter, smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights, distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's a Thursday morning and we have a call from PG. I'm asking the brother if he can call back. He called during the break. But another area of conversation that I would want to provoke and get your input. Many years ago in the Caribbean, and certainly we were doing it in Belize, we were coming up with a projection of years ahead. I know that Dr. Carla Barnett, who is now Secretary General at the CARICOM, did a 2030 projection that these are some of what we would as a country want to accomplish by the time we get to 2030, which meant that we were forecasting, we were looking down the road. We were not only into what's going on today and what has happened previously, but we were intentionally projecting and putting everything in line for the achievement of these goals. They were called National Development Plans. And these National Development Plans had the input of all stakeholders and not just the government. We'll go back to this point. Welcome, caller.
I'm back again, Nuri,
yes.
to comment on this. It's in connection with this and a point that not the last caller, the caller prior to him made. Let's go to the United States. We had the civil rights movement. It was full of intense with passion, right?
Indeed.
There was violence, then there was response to the violence with violence, and then there was response with a change in laws. And then the fight simmered down, and we thought, okay, we are beginning to arrive. But did we really arrive? I say no. What emerged from the black civil rights movement was a black aristocracy, a small group of people who were let into the living room. And they made an agreement with the people who were the doorkeepers. We won't try to bring in anybody else. We won't cram the room with us, because then we would be dominant. And so you have ended up with black millionaires and probably black billionaires and maybe even black trillionaires we are going to. And then you move into the 80s and the 90s, and what do we have, Nuri? We have a return to the Jim Crow laws, and a whole new era of Jim Crow laws that caused a level of incarceration, imprisonment of black men, boys, a few women, at a level never before seen. That's exactly what they did in Europe, to get the population for the colonies, be it in the Americas or Australia or New Zealand or whatever, they jail people for frivolous reasons and unfrivolous ones. But the prison population increased exponentially. And so that prison population was exported to the colonies. All the colonies, they were exported. In some of the colonies you even had was virtually entirely penal population.
Australia
is an example of that.
Yeah.
Now, in America, they didn't have anywhere to export the incarcerated when they came out. They just fell by the wayside, died, went back into the life, went back into jail in an in and out circle. And then suddenly America's jails could be used like the Chinese jails, the Lao guys, for labor, prison labor, slave labor. Because under American law, the Constitution, a felon is a slave.
Right.
A felon remains a slave under American law. Now, we move into the 90s, into the 2000s, and in my opinion, the condition of black people is worse than it has ever been. So now we are at a point where the white ruling class has decided on the final solution. Isn't that what they have decided on, as they decided with the Jews? The final solution. We're saying enough of them. No inclusion, no diversity. So they are attacking the health system that poor people who are not only blacks, the Native Americans need. They are attacking everything, dismantling it. Well, that's the result when a set of people decide the door only opens to me. As long as I get in at the door, no problem. I will keep that, because the day when, and in the meantime, I will up the color of my skin. We will whiten the race, and we're gonna make it through. But out there is separation, and one day that out there turns into the same barbarians. But outside the door is chaos, and we don't seem to be conscious of it. So we sit down with the World Bank and all of them, and they know what the World Bank really is. And we write the development plans, and they look beautiful, but they are only words, and we know that. You and I, and all of us of my generation, we know that. But we don't give a damn. We don't. So what is being done to the blacks in America now, they are being pushed to the limit. And the mestizos, the Latin Americans who thought they were not black, they are being pushed too. Not to mention the native tribes. Look at the cancellation of education at tertiary level for the Native American reservation population. Look at that.
Yep.
So you cannot ever, you see, you want peace and you want development. Nobody wants eternal war. But you must know when the war has really ended. Not when you believe it end and you hope it end and you think it end and you... No, none of that. You have to really know the war has come to an end. The war hasn't come to an end. But black Americans, the differentiation among all the human population.
That's right.
But we don't know that. So we buy the nonsense. Look at the mess the finances of the Caribbean, Latin America, all of them are in. From buying into privatization and any nonsense they sell us. We go to their universities, and we need to go there because we don't have them. But you cannot go there thinking that you're there to absorb everything, hook, line, and sinker, because they don't absorb it, Nuri.
No, they don't.
They don't absorb it. They keep their minds trying to They let us, they force us.
Exactly.
And we, because we want to be accepted and brought into the fold and enter the living room, and we buy it. So that's why the Caribbean is in the mess it is in. It doesn't matter, everybody, yes, you may go on me and Motley and this. Right there in Trinidad, look at the lady in Trinidad.
Yes.
She is basically doing exactly what you see CARICOM standing up for Haiti? No. But one day, what is happening in Haiti will happen in all the Caribbean, just as has happened with the blacks in America. The blacks in America, the ruling class may have thought, this will keeping what quiet. Now they are literally eradicating and erasing you from everything they can erase you. To put you back there is going to be a fight. Diversity, inclusion, the whole list of things where all of that have no meaning for the current ruling group. No meaning. So we in the Caribbean, Carla didn't write anything that was a what was the word I want? Not Carla, not anybody has written anything that really is meant to be implemented. Because we already know Nuri. They know. They have been let into the living room. They don't dare open that door to let the whole masses outside inside, because then they will be nobodies for sure. They will be slaughtered. So they are not going to take slaughter.
Well, I understood what Carla did.
No. I am not. Carla was my student.
Yes, I know.
Let us get that clear. I love her dearly.
Yeah.
But I'm arguing now objectively that as a part of the intellectual class of the Caribbean and the Commonwealth. Oh, let's go to the UK. The same lady who was Secretary General of the Commonwealth is the one they sent here, Patricia Scotland, to convince us to go to the ICJ.
Yes.
Isn't that so?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, indeed.
And we are at an ICJ now that is a part of the crumbling, tumbling international order. It can't deliver. Not on one of its decisions on Gaza and the West Bank, can't deliver on one of them.
Yeah.
And not only that, this woman, the judge who was ousted, who was from the ICC, she has discussed I think she's Irish, she has discussed publicly that her credit card, her entire financial history was literally erased because of being a judge of the ICC, because the U.S. decided that can't work. You see, Nuri? So it's not, you can't do anything in isolation. What the Caribbean needs to do on Cuba is come together as a region. And what Belize could do is step up front and argue and tall and clamor for us to come together as a region. We can't do it individually. Everyone has to become involved. They have to stand guard between their people and the entities out there that are going to attack them. Well, but if they don't do that, then wouldn't it be quite in order that they attack any flotilla, any individual boat or whatever container ship that's going with aid?
I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that we need to do something. I don't know.
Yes, I agree to do something. I want to
last
week and I argued this Monday.
I also want to.
Governments of the region, like the gentleman before said, cannot escape their responsibility.
No. Of course. But I want to acknowledge also that I remember. This must have been over 20.
Look at Mexico. Mexico initially said, it shipped no oil to Cuba. The Mexican people, the outcry became so loud that Sheinbaum had to retract, and now she's going to send humanitarian aid from the government of Mexico to the people. I don't know how much aid they will send if the aid will reach.
But I think...
Nuri, it's not that I don't understand why they are being covered. I understand why.
Yeah.
My issue is, if we are truly a God-fearing nation of Christian Judeo evolution and Islamic evolution and God of the Abrahamic faith, then the God that faith defines is a God that nothing can stand against.
I agree. Totally.
Absolutely nothing.
Totally agree.
And I can say personally that in my life, I have turned to Almighty God when there is nothing left, and He has never abandoned me.
Never.
Ever.
Never.
Ever.
Yeah.
So if we are God-fearing, God adoring, Abrahamic God adoring, let's say, then when are we going to call on Almighty God to back us and move with Him? Because Almighty God could hardly want the whole of Cuba to starve to death. That don't make no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. So the courage, whether we want, any way you put it, we leaders in Belize and the entire Caribbean and our people need to begin to develop reservoirs of courage in the small little things that they're doing wrong right here.
Yeah.
When the dirt and let people urinate and all that, if we start to clean up our act, we become people of moral fiber. We don't have no moral fiber right now. You don't care when tell me. We don't have no moral fiber. We need to develop that.
Yeah.
In order now to take on the elephant, this alike. whatever was existed in the Pleistocene ages are like that. There's huge mountain of fangs and terrorism that is confronting us. Anyway, bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much, sister. It's really, and that's why we rely on scripture, not because we're trying to be overly religious, but if you go into the scripture with a rational mind, you could see answers there. What is this symbolic of? This is symbolic of David, a small state, and Goliath, a big state, a one-eyed state. And we need to be able to understand the dynamics that there is a level of courage.
You can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access 4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Done here about how you could shop online with Builders Hardware.
It's easy and convenient. Plus, you get special deals and discounts online where you not get in at the store. Just log on to shopbuildersbz.com and pay with your Visa, MasterCard, debit or credit card. You could choose to pick up your order from the Smart Lacaneda Builders or Easy could deliver for you. If that was a big thing, the Builders Truck could deliver for you. If you need more information about anything, you could start chat right here online with a salesperson. We're ready to help you. No need to burn gas and waste time in a traffic. Go to shopbuildersbz.com.
I want to leave with this idea and maybe get some feedback from you. As I said, there was a time when we were dealing with these national development plans. I could remember my friend Bert Tucker, the late Bert Tucker, about 30 years ago, was brought in under the Musa administration to work on this 10-year development plan. And then later on, as I said, with Dr. Carla Barnett, they took it up to this 2030 plan. The point is that a national development plan is different than a manifesto. Manifesto promises is what the party promises those who vote for them, that when we get into power, this is what we're going to do. Some of it is policy-based and some of it is political. What the National Development Plan was is policy statements that includes the unions, includes the private sector, includes various stakeholders within the government framework that sit for a while and look at an overarching plan that can go beyond an administration. If we are only functioning by 5-year cycles, there's just so much that can be accomplished. But there are certain policy initiatives that need to have a buy-in from all the so-called stakeholders so that that particular plan is not subjected to argument and fights after it has already been decided. And there are certain areas that we can do that. Even in this telecommunications debacle, if we had started a long time ago, educating our people on the benefits or not benefits, then when it becomes time for implementing a change, then you have a broader buy-in and less suspicion. But neither governments, meaning red or blue, have learned that lesson. So whenever they bring forward another movement towards accomplishing certain goals, policy goals, there's a blowback because the suspicion put on some of these national policy issues going to conk. Why is it that we only hear from the diaspora on Facebook? Why is it that we cannot say that there is this diaspora desk that is not just symbolic and ceremonial, but is actually engaged in the conversation of relevance? How is it that we don't want to empower our people? Do we believe that we are a king? That our cabinet is a representation of a king? Is that where we are? We are not supposed to be like that. We're coming out of the colonial kingship. The whole idea of the Magna Carta was that we were going to break this thing down and allow people to have a voice. But as Sister Sandra rightly said just now, when you look at the equation, we are still operating under a sort of an elitist kind of, if I could pass the post, then I don't have to worry about the rest. I know I get mine. And if we move along that kind of line, we are going to always be in problems. She likes to call it the reptilian part of us. There is a selfish, greedy part of us. That's how this system works, by inducing that greed, that I get mine, I don't have to worry about that. This idea of stopping and share peace of mind with you and that good Samaritan, we're not into that. We're into I get mine. And she calls it this reptilian idea. But indeed, there is a part of this human nature that if you don't control it and put it in the direction it should go, it will consume you. You know that. We ought not to be like that. And the more we get into that, the more we slip into an area that is not comfortable for us. This has to be our last call. Welcome, caller.
Logan, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, I've been listening to your show, and it's very, very insightful. Congratulations. Well, not congratulations, that's the wrong word to use, but certainly I want to thank you for for opening the eyes of the regular layman in Belize, Ms. Sandra Coy. That's always a pleasure to listen to.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to add a little bit to this conversation, but veering off a little bit.
Okay.
Whereby I am in the tourism industry for the past 25 years or so.
Okay.
I also own a restaurant and do other things within the tourism industry. And what I have noticed, and again, it's mainly food for thought, is obviously when you see the politics in the U.S. and you read the comments, you tend to get a general idea that the racists are coming out of the woodwork.
Yes.
They're coming out with their chest high, making comments that leave us at times with, very surprised, if not surprised at least. Well, many of us in Belize, many have not come in contact with the type of racism that is in the U.S. I, for one, I cannot speak with knowledge of what Black America has gone through. We have been through our own here, but certainly it is different. Now, what I wanted to make a point of is that what I've been seeing, and certainly it is a conversation that has to be had, is that many of these people, they were probably here living in Belize already, and we're talking what they call themselves expats, immigrants, whatever we want to call them, but people that have retired from the U.S. that live in Belize. Some of them have genuinely tried to be a part of our population, tried to integrate themselves with the locals, and we welcome them. But what I have noticed is that there are now many that are coming out, pushing out their chests, and showing that racism that we only get to see on television. And I'm saying this, like I said, as someone that's in the business, that is now coming in contact with this on a regular basis. And it is a conversation to be had, because I know that many in this type of business, in the tourism and hospitality industry, have never come in contact with that, and many of us don't know how to deal with it, right? There's a number one rule in the restaurant and especially the bar business, and that rule is to never discuss religion or politics. And it makes sense. That the reasoning for that is very simple, right? You don't want to have arguments. You're in the service industry, all of that. But these people are coming now, whereby I personally have heard comments such as, "You don't want to offend these people. They do it differently. Remember that they're a third world country. Remember, the brownies do it differently." And I can go on and on and on.
Wow.
I've been blackballed, my restaurant especially, where many of these people would go to restaurants where their kind own it. And that's absolutely fine, right? You may feel more comfortable with people that you can relate to. That is absolutely fine. And what I'm trying to say is that what is coming out now is now so pronounced that they will get to a point where either there's going to be conflict between the locals and said expats, or the BTV perhaps taking this on head on and sensitizing the hospitality industry on how to actually deal with this racism. And again, this may be a very unpopular call that you may get now, because obviously it is a conversation that I don't think you've ever heard called in. And I'm hoping, I'm not saying this in any way to bring down what we depend on, which is tourism, but mainly for the fact that we need to deal with something that may turn into an issue very soon. I absolutely love and appreciate the people that come to Belize with an open mind and try to integrate themselves here. But certainly, we have lived, as much as we have our own internal racism, we do. Whoever wants to deny that is just living under a rock. But certainly, to see these kinds of things coming into our country and not having been exposed to it, certainly is an eye-opener for many in this industry. And because some of us are not sensitized, we would react in ways that could probably be better if we are sensitized. So I want to call on those that are in charge to actually think about this. And if you think it's only me, reach out to people that are in this business, and you will see that we are clearly seeing a difference as it relates to the people that are coming here, but also to the ones that have lived here for years and years. I want to leave with that, and I will wait to see if there's any comments. Thank you again so much for sensitizing us on all that.
Thank you very much, caller. Very, very, very strong call there. Unfortunately, we've gotten that call at the end of our show, but maybe we could pick it up again tomorrow. But very important point that she's making. There's a difference, she's saying, in those who are visiting us now, who some years ago may have been a little bit more humble, and now some of them may be coming with their chest stuck out and say, we're back in charge. I'm only going off in my own thinking about what could cause this change of behavior. I believe that the majority of our visitors that come to Belize over the many years that we have opened our country to them are good people. Many have decided after coming to Belize that they decide they want to stay at Belize. But you got some people that wherever they go, they don't adjust themselves to the climate that they are in. They bring their own climate. They bring their own attitudes. And so if you run into people like that in the tourism industry, and as she's saying, you may run into conflict with somebody can't handle your behavior, and there might be violence. We don't want that. But she's pointing out that there is a trend. Maybe it's only her, maybe it's just a small group. It would be good to hear from others. But I do think her point of BTB looking into that and see if there is any fire close to that smoke and be able to address it. I don't know how. You know, that's a dynamic there, because you can't control those people that come on ships and come on planes, etc., etc. And I'm not sure what you could do about us here in terms of dealing with them. But an orientation as to who you are meeting and the dynamics of how you can deal with them, that's an exercise in hospitality. Maybe we can sensitize our tourist people as to how to, navigate negative behavior. And I'm pretty much sure that they do that instinctively. But she's pointing out that of late, there seems to be a kind of Trumpian arrogance that may be coming up among some of our tourists. And so it's a very sensitive idea. Thank you for bringing it up, caller. We'll end our program now by thanking those who are in the background. Brother Larry Guerrero downstairs in radio. Upstairs we had our new technician, who I call Miss T. Sorry, she have to give me that name, I can write it out. We have a new MCO, beautiful young lady, wonderful, good spirit, real team player, and we thank her for joining us. Of course, we had Mr. Clifton Lewis and Mr. Harlan Wagner in the background. So Belizeans, we, inshallah, will be with you again tomorrow. Stand strong, stand firm.
Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to be obey. And all the things that must happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We got to keep moving. Na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize.
Se devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. En inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Get ready for fantastic discounts from now through to September 30th. Venice is having store-wide discounts on tools, paints, appliances, plumbing and electrical products, lights and fans, household items, and much, much more. Visit a Venice store near you to enjoy fantastic discounts from now through to September 30th. Only.
Look out, here we go again. From the folks that brought you the Gatsby New Year's Eve event, you've heard about it. Well, you got your chance to join in this Saturday, February 14th. Grand Resort and Residences again starting at 9 p.m. It's another mature and secure gallery event for Valentine's. It's called Heartstrings. We have the soundtrack to match your feelings. A superstar lineup of iconic DJs journey through the best classic old school tunes just for you and yours. When flowers alone won't do and chocolate's too cliche, we got music, we got DJs, we got the maestro, Stone Jam, Mr. Entertainment, DJ Dalla, Rocker and the Bigger Ford, and Frisco and Tony G. I would like to be the only in your life, I want to be the only man. There we've got a special Steel Pan live throwdown from the Steel Pan maestro, Alex Evans. No! Bring your heartstring fireworks in the sky for the lovers and, of course, exquisite cuisine for your satisfaction. Sweet dreams are made of these. Get your tickets and get your tickets early. You don't want to left your heartstring out there alone. Come together and feel the vibe. Rabbit Hole Entertainment again. Tickets in advance.